What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're going to be taking a look at Mr. Donovan. You're going to have to excuse my low energy. Normally I'm a shouting type of guy, but oh man, I really don't feel good right now. But I wanted to get this video out to you, so hopefully I'm not going to be coughing or something crazy in the video. Either way, this game is very, very unique. That's really rare to actually be able to say about most video games. Honestly speaking, like I really am excited about this one. It's just oddly satisfying while you play it. So don't just click away from the video just because you know, the graphics aren't the most impressive or anything like that. So we've got basic combos. You can just spam your left click if you want just to do your one attack over and over, but you can see that we're not gonna actually do 1, 2, 3, the full combo. It's all about that timing. These actually act as traps, so as soon as you activate them, they're gonna end up doing a bunch of different traps. And then if you actually cut down bushes and stuff like that, you can end up finding different resource types, as you can see right here, that we have to grab. Sound effects are very much like old 64 games. I kind of like it. And the whole thing about this game, like, that is so unique is it oddly enough seems to play more, that's a trap as well. It's like even the description of the game on Steam, which you can check links in the description to check it out for yourself, but it's like a single player online MOBA game. You don't play it with other people or anything like that, but it's got very interesting mechanics. You know, it's got like a big expansive open world once we actually get through this tutorial section, which requires certain resources to actually open the exit portal. But it has like a pet system where you can actually train pets, and you have to actually like earn their respect and love to actually have them operate well for you. There's also different, well, I was experimenting just with the adventure worlds out there. You actually have the option. Did I get enough resources here? Okay, we did. Where you can end up opening a unique portal that's kind of like a timed event where you're gonna go in there and get like all sorts of crazy loot and stuff. Also different weapon types as well. We've got our basic weapon, which was the same sword that you just saw 2 seconds ago, and then we've got this, which I guess technically speaking isn't a weapon. It's a pickaxe, right? But you've got certain stuff like this, which is really, really unique and interesting, where this is kind of like a challenge, right? So it's a mini challenge that's going to generate. I'm not supposed to be going through the lava like I am, but I'm too lazy to do it the legit way, where we would have to get through it without taking fatal damage. But it's kind of like a timed event. You gotta get the resource before this craziness ends up expiring. So let me see if I can actually do this legit. I could get one of them, not the second one. Oh, well, that's okay. And then there's going to be some other spots. Is this resource? No, it is not. There's going to be some other spots that are just going to end up having resources that you're going to have to mine. That's kind of what they want us to do right now. So I'm just going to try and get all this stuff out of the way. But they're showing that some resources are just going to be hidden out in the world. So you kind of just do it yourself, you know, kind of just try and see. Oh, my goodness, we're taking fatal damage here. That was a big trap that ended up spawning. Good, because we'll get to actually see what is the deal with the respawn timing. Okay, so it just respawns you at a checkpoint. And then, oh yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure the game actually tells us when we're out at our spaceship, which that's where things get really interesting once we get past this tutorial. But it tells you that if you end up dying out in the world, you end up losing all the resources that you had on you. So that's where you actually will make regular trips back to your spaceship to actually deposit those resources. Apparently, too, you can actually get like special abilities from bosses. So that's very interesting as well. How many resources do we need? We need 3 of the blue ones, 4 of the arrow ones, and the arrow one. I think that's what it's trying to tell us. I'm just going to go around and gather it all. Oh, because I ended up dying, I ended up losing all the resources, including the ones that I got from that challenge thing. Okay, there we go. Let's warp out of here and go to the next area. Now, this one's trying to teach us about the ranged weapon, which this thing's really, really weird. It's cool, but it's really weird. So we'll actually shoot out a projectile, and then it's going to go and choose a random direction. and then come back to us after a short while. And as you can see right there, it's telling us that it's actually going to cause a lot more damage on its way back. So that's kind of what they want us to do, but the fact that it's going to be moving in a random direction once it actually reaches the target is what's going to make it a little bit difficult to use. So thankfully we seem to be getting pretty lucky here as far as where the ranged attack is actually going, but you can see right there we would have had to adjust ourselves, kind of like a ping pong, right? So it bounces right back at us where we were. And as we defeated those enemies, we ended up opening this area. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're in this spot. So they're trying to teach us about respect points. Now, this is a very interesting mechanic as well. Respect points are earned by dodging enemies' attacks, thus breaking their will to fight. If you can dodge 10 consecutive attacks, then the enemy will drop 1 respect point and retreat. So that's what they really want us to do while we're fighting this guy, is dodge attacks and strike the enemy when they attempt to charge up for their next attack. So I'm just going to dance around this guy. That's pretty much what I did the first time I came in here, is you just keep dancing around them in circles, and they're periodically going to end up dropping different resources. And you can kind of see in the bottom left that we actually have the points kind of moving up, right? So we just make sure to dodge him enough that we ended up actually healing up. And this is actually a health pool. Or healing up. I mean, we completed it, got the respect points, right? This is actually a health pool. Sometimes when you defeat enemies, there'll be like a different effect. It'll either end up giving you a buff that you can end up using to defeat the next enemies. Usually it's temporary buffs, kind of like jungling in a MOBA game like League of Legends or something like that, right? So that's where things get really interesting, because this is like a single player game that plays like this. It's like, what is this? You know, this game is very interesting, if I do say. Now, search the environment and find all the resources you can to store in your ship. With resources, you will earn powerful abilities, repair your ship, and earn permanent upgrades for it. You can also buy consumable items to aid in yourself or damage enemies, which healing, of course. Search for pets to befriend in the environment, and defend against nightly enemy raids that will end up coming up to your ship and I guess attacking in the middle of the night. If your ship is destroyed, you will not be able to cast abilities until the ship is repaired again. So very interesting mechanic once again. And then if you die, you will lose all the resources you are carrying. They are safe when they're downloaded into your ship. So this game doesn't really have any permadeath or anything like that. It just has a very strange mechanics to it, right? So it's very different. So if we go over to the ship right here, you can see there's all sorts of different, we got achievements, okay. This is where all of the resources are going to be that you'll store. I guess you can store blood points. Creatures on this planet have strange abilities. We need to analyze their DNA to gain clues on how to obtain those abilities for our own. Blood points will sometimes be dropped by defeated creatures, so that's actually a very important mechanic for this game, because whereas an upgrade and repair your ship, is this where it is? Shield detects bionicle changes near you to protect you from one incoming attack at a time, and you can see this is going to cost us silicone, dark matter, and dark energy stone, right? So there's all sorts of different resources that are going to end up costing different mechanics, right? Or there's different abilities that are going to cost different resources, is what I mean. Unlock or equip yourself with different abilities yourself, so you can actually up the damage on your sword here, make it a little bit stronger. Ability Guardians, create 3 multiple versions of yourself as guardians. Enemies will not react to these multiples. I've had that ability end up showing up where you actually cast it, have clones of yourself show up, and they'll all mimic your attacks. They won't actually follow you or walk around or anything. These guardians have the ability to cast ball lightning or absorb sphere if initiated at any point. I'm guessing those are other abilities, so it's kind of like stackable stuff, right? And then there's just upgrades to our suit, which is going to be like blink, instantly teleport your body a short distance. So very cool mechanics for sure. Weird game, you know, like there's not really that many games you could say that are this unique. And as I was going into this, like I kept wondering, what am I even gonna call this game as as I'm gonna make a video on it? And well, what do I say? It's like a weird single MOBA game or something, right? Transport platform. Use this for worldwide transportation in search of resources. So I actually had one of these show up while I ended up crafting one of them before, right? And you actually go into the portal. It's gonna warp you in a random area, and then you have to search for the portal that's gonna teleport you back. And the whole thing that I think is really cool about this game is the fact that I'm pretty sure it's all open world, you know, so that's another very unique mechanic about it that is just so cool. But then we've got like other random enemies like these guys right here, which hopefully I'm gonna be able to do just enough damage to defeat. You can see we've got that right there. I'm not exactly sure what some of these abilities are, but we do have a shield now, so we're gonna be doing just fine. This guy actually tried to clone himself. I don't know if that electricity is like hurting us or anything like that. Honestly speaking, the indicators for the world, I still find very, very confusing. I think if we stand on this, do we take damage? Or is this just some passive thing in the background? Maybe video effects from the enemy? I don't exactly know. But remember those traps that I said earlier? They're here. There's all sorts of secrets out in the world that you can end up going out and exploring and stuff. I guess this is this just a barrier to the zone or something like that? Yeah, it is. So maybe the world's random generated. It doesn't seem like it is. It seems like it's just the same as when I came here the first time. So the resource that we just got there, I don't even know what that was, but we did just get the resources now that we can actually go and store in our spaceship. Let me see if I can actually get back there. Okay, maybe he didn't end up picking it up or something. I'm not exactly sure, because I think this is our person right here and we can store all that, or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know, but either way, very unique game, very cool game. Links will be in the description so you can check it out for yourselves, folks, because there's not really anything else that I can really say about it, because otherwise I would have to invest a lot of time. That's the thing that I think is cool about this game, is it's very relaxing and could consume a lot of time. That's why it's kind of cool, especially, it's got a unique style to it for sure. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. Very much appreciated. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like. Have a great day, everybody. Sign on and stay up.